Welcome to the Carousel, where we discuss video games, movies, sometimes comic books, and generally whatever awful things those conversations lead to. I am John, occasionally known as MusiM. With me I have Randy.
Hello.
And I have Jake.
Let me tell you guys something about Poison Ivy. She is a durable, seductive woman, that Poison Ivy. We'll get to it later, but that was one of the loot pieces I picked up. It said, Poison Ivy head, durable, seductive woman. I was like...
Poison Ivy head.
Wow.
That's fucked up. That's real fucked. There's some real fucked up names for stuff in that game, but it's fun. We'll get to it later.
Kind of a rapey Kevin Spacey kind of thing going on, huh?
Maybe? I don't know. I mean, she is durable and seductive. I punched her into space, whipped her around the sun, and then lasered her ass back into Earth, and she got back up. Like, she is those things, but...
She can handle herself.
I think this is that, like, this toxic masculinity culture I keep hearing about. Like, I think that's exactly, like, all those sentences that came out of your mouth.
Was that a pheromones Poison Ivy joke? Toxic masculinity? Because toxins?
I smell what you're stirring there, sir.
Yes, moving on. Normally we would be talking about PS Plus games for June here. They have not released them yet. Today is, I believe, the 25th.
It is.
And they usually kind of sort of wait until right before the next month, so that's not a huge surprise. But what is cool is I was looking when I went to go see if they'd released the list for the next month. I saw that they're actually trying to make some big changes to Plus. They weren't super specific, but what they said was, the quote I pulled from the story was, Sony management talked more on the subject, revealing that they wanted to make PlayStation Plus a more attractive prospect to fans to subscribe to. That was not great writing, but so basically it sounds like they're going to be... What I'm hoping they do, rather, and this is pure speculation, is I'm hoping we're starting to maybe see some better, more popular games like you do on Gold. I'm not necessarily looking for AAAs across the board. Like, I like having the indie stuff around because it gives me a chance to try it. But I just think maybe shift that balance over a little bit. So hopefully next cast I will have nice stuff to say about that.
They got to do something. I mean, like, you know what? Give me free Netflix. I'll cancel my Netflix subscription. We'll just pack it all in one thing and...
just get Sony View or whatever it is. Like, just give me 45 cable channels for $5 a month, and I'm in, man.
That's it. That's your winner. That's it.
If you can pick them,
completely affordable. You know, I mean, anyway.
I missed my calling.
Sony by far will not lose any money on that deal.
No. ESPN's super jazzed about it too. They want to get those subscribers back for cents on the dollar. What they usually charge.
Oh yeah, they're hurting.
I mean, they want to get paid like what fucking bands get paid for MP3s, like that 1/1000th of a cent, like per subscriber.
Do you guys listen to Pandora at all?
Not really.
Not really.
I don't a ton because it just chews through data, and I don't have an awesome cell phone plan. But I sort of ran out of podcasts this week, so I was listening to Pandora a little bit. And man, I understand they got to stay solvent and like they're losing money month after month, but shit, there's a lot of commercials on that now.
Yeah.
So like for the most part, I take rejection of my music pretty well. Like, and just I don't know. I go through my own thing, but it is what it is. But every time I've applied to Pandora, I've been rejected like 3 months later. Like, they're not very timely in their turnaround. So that's probably has something to do why I don't even mess with them at all anymore.
Well, they were playing ads for the 3 months in the interim, and you just couldn't hear them because you didn't have your computer on. But seriously, I mean, it probably doesn't help that I listen to 17.5-minute metal songs. So like there's that. But then for the shorter ones, you get like 2.5 to 4 minute songs, and then there's like 3 minutes of commercials.
Yeah.
Did you just start crazy. Like the Meshuggah channel or something like that? Just
no,
make a channel out of I or none or whatever the fuck that is?
Meshuggah doesn't go 17 minutes in a song, do they?
Isn't that one song? Isn't the I single or the none? I don't know.
Maybe once or twice, but not generally.
Oh, okay.
No, you gotta rock that Dream Theater, Symphony X, Blind Guardian. I think Blind Guardian's got like a 22-minute, and then there was Silence. How long is that? It's like 21 or 22 minutes, right?
I mean, okay, Dream Theater did have that one album where they did like the 25-minute song, and then they did the cover songs afterwards that were kind of cool.
That's too long.
But like most of Dream Theater's long songs are like 9-10 minutes tops, you know?
Yeah, it's Bush League shit.
I say that. I really haven't fucking listened to much Dream Theater since they got rid of Mike Portnoy. I thought that was a fucked up decision.
Since they sold out.
Well, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Mike's like, I want to take a year off, and they're like, we don't. You're out of the band, and that was that.
Well, they're
I
not.
think that's
I mean, they're not
totally fair.
exactly setting the world on fire. Like those fuckers got to eat, dude.
I have to imagine, like,
They
imagine
sold out
the amount of
numbers.
free guitars John Petrucci gets. And then imagine if he just sold, like, because imagine if every guitar manufacturer in the world just sent him new models of their guitars all the time.
You're probably not allowed to sell promo guitars like that.
Oh, you want to fucking bet?
They're yours, dude. You can do whatever you want with them.
All right.
Even if you can't, like, who's to say you just go, oh, no, I gave that to my nephew. Oh, someone sold it on eBay? What, Jack
Oh.
Petrucci? Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, and then you can
Sounds
go
like a
steal
real
them
ass.
back, like O.J. Simpson. That's what you do. You sell your stuff,
we went
and then
from
you
Dream Theater to OJ.
take
I-
it back at gunpoint. Yeah.
I guess I missed whatever the OJ thing was. Did he eBay some of his murder stuff and then go kill to get it back or something?
Well, I think if anyone's going to eBay the
um,
murdered stuff, it's probably the police because they
He
have
tried
it.
to steal a bunch of sports memorabilia associated with him back from somebody that had it. They had bought it fair and square, and he tried to steal it back.
Yeah, so that's the only thing he's actually done jail time for.
Yeah,
Motherfucker gets away with 2 murders, and he just can't help himself. He's got to have that fucking jersey. Like, dude. Anyway, so that's PlayStation Plus news.
All right.
So
There's some
for
gold games.
yes, there are the Xbox games for gold for June. Speedrunners available all of the month of June on Xbox One.
So this has been on Steam for a while. John, you said you didn't really know too much about this. Randy, have you ever played it?
It doesn't even sound familiar.
It's a play on words. It's a racing game. It's a bunch of people racing on foot. But I want to say it's multiplayer only. 12-Gauge Slug over at the TVGP forums bought it for a bunch of us when we were doing Thursday night game night. And we had some fun with it. It's sort of real short, kind of maybe 3 to 4 minute games, and different characters have different abilities, but you're basically just platforming and trying to get through these fun levels as quick as you can. This is a perfect game for something like Xbox Gold. So definitely pick it up when it comes out and just see if it's up your alley. Because it's one of those things where if you get the right group of people, it is super fun.
So it's a multiplayer platformer?
Kinda, yeah. You're racing through a level, but it's all sort of platforming mechanics.
Huh.
There's traps
Alright.
and stuff. It's cool. Watch some video on it.
Sounds like
So
it's worth a shot.
watch out for the second one as Watch Dogs hits Xbox Gold.
That's a good one, John.
The, June 15th to July 15th. I hear that's I'm sorry, June 16th. I hear that Watch Dogs game is a real popular one with everyone in the critics. No one had anything bad to say about it, you know. So
So pick it up for free.
Yeah,
Oh.
I made my peace with that game on the last.
It's not even that old, is it?
everyone knows I'm being sarcastic, right? Like that game was kind of skewered to
Oh.
a large extent.
What? Yeah, I don't know. It didn't come out that long ago, did it?
Watch Dogs 2 came out this year.
Like maybe. Well, that was one of the first games that was out on this gen, right? Because they showed that
Yeah.
amazing looking footage,
Yeah.
and it
guess
turned
it's
out to all
probably
be
been-
bullshots.
It's
So
probably
probably
been 3 years. Yeah.
3-4 years, I would think. Yeah.
Honestly,
Typical turnaround.
my Xbox Gold subscription I think is still active. I will play that because I'm kind of curious, you know. Even though I'm
Alright.
getting tired of the not quite open world.
Yeah.
Here's a bunch of meaningless task games.
Well, that sounds like the next one.
Assassin's
looks
Creed
like-
3.
Real quick though on Watch Dogs, it looks like it has some cool stuff to it that like they had to try it and fuck it up in order to kind of figure out how they needed to do it. Like they did with all these Assassin's Creed games. Like I don't like any of them. But clearly, you know, the second one was where they started to figure out all of the shit. So like I don't know, maybe it's worth playing just to say you played it. So, sorry, Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah. June 1st through the 15th. Excuse me. Yeah, so I've only played a little bit of Assassin's Creed 3. I kind of played through the 4-hour intro. Yeah, like it might be 2 hours, but it's a long ass intro where you are not playing the character that was advertised.
I'm sure it's all quick time and you're just watching.
No, you're playing.
Okay.
But you're not in like the big open environments or anything. You're in set
Right.
pieces and things like that. And then when it switches over to the Native American kid,
Was Connor, I want to say?
yeah, that sounds right. That is his American name. It kind of retrains you over again. It's weird, like getting a beginning of the game style tutorial like 2 to 4 hours into the game.
Why didn't they should have just started there.
Yeah, like
I play Final Fantasy 13. I know how that is.
honestly, like I didn't mind Assassin's Creed 3 that much.
A ringing endorsement.
Yeah, like it's no Assassin's Creed 2 or Brotherhood, you know. Like the moment they brought in the base building sim where you have to manage, like all the games kind of had the base building thing, but it was usually just collect this stuff and your base gets cooler. And this one more seems like they tried to put some sort of commerce or economic system into it, and
Like
It
little bit of micromanagement. Of
yeah,
your base
it
there.
immediately turned me off. Where
That's no good.
I'm just like, I don't gotta do this. I know you want Ben Frank to make my shit, which is I don't
Just
know
call
if
him
that,
Ben
Frank.
Frank?
Yeah.
I did.
Benny Frank. That's what we call him.
Be Frank in the house, coming at you.
I don't. That's yeah.
So it sounds like they're putting the ass back in Assassins on this. Fucking base building, man.
Ass.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Ass in. It's the worst version of Duck Duck Goose.
I've been told you can actually completely ignore the base building thing, and I've always meant to go back to it because I really wanted to see Desmond's story play out. But anyway,
From what I guess this is spoilers, but I'm talking out of my ass, so I don't know if it's spoilers. I get the impression that they just sort of took Desmond and just summarily just fucking dumped him at the end of that game. Was like, yeah, I don't know. He had to go back to his home planet. Anyway.
My planet needs me.
I thought they killed him or something, but I don't know. But yeah, so many people bitched about it. It's like there's a lot of people that were really interested in Desmond's story. I mean, the delivery on the main story in Assassin's Creed 1 was not good. It was a fucking awesome story, but in terms of the game
Delivered
communicating
poorly.
that story to you, it was terrible. So, like, if you're just kind of haphazardly paying attention to that game and not picking up on any of the subtlety and ignoring the long
Destiny's
lectures
that
they
way.
gave you, then, like, the Desmond parts of Assassin's Creed 1, I think, are the most interesting. But, I don't know. Anyway, it's one of those games whose story overpromises. It's one of those games that's like, this could be the answer to life, the universe, and everything. And they're like, nope, it's just a game.
Because we're Ubisoft.
Yeah. Anyway. A brand new game, Dragon Age Origins, comes out through the 16th through the 30th. That game is by no means at least a decade old.
Yeah.
I don't...
I feel like there's not a ton of people that would be interested in this that haven't picked it up either like for free on EA's We Give Shit Away stuff or on Steam for $3. Like,
Or already played through
Yeah.
it a bunch of times.
It doesn't
I keep
make
throwing myself at the game because all the origins stuff where you're making your students, all the mini stories, all that stuff is fucking rad. And then I get to like the third big section of the game, and I'm like, I don't like any of this combat. Like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I don't...
All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone who wanted to play that game has already played it. And then...
But I mean, if you had it on the 360, it's one more reason to like maybe you can finally pack away your 360. I don't know. I don't hate that it's there. It's just it seems weird.
Yeah. And then multiplayer DLC for the free game Phantom Dust is available June 1st through the 30th.
Phantom Dust.
Yeah, from what it looks like, it seems like it's all the multiplayer stuff that I never played the first one, and I downloaded Phantom Dust, when they released it for free last week, I want to say. I downloaded it, but I haven't played it yet. It seems like the multiplayer stuff is, I mean, if it's DLC, I would think that it's not part of the main game. It seems weird to tack that on this much later, but I could be full of shit. It might have been in there in the first place, and these are maps or something. I don't really know what it is.
Yeah, I've never played Phantom Dust, and my only knowledge of it is hearing like one of the podcast commenters I listen to randomly like sound like they might be excited about it, but at the end of the day, I never played the original game, and I'm skeptical that the game is that meaningful in history, but who the fuck knows? We'll see.
But it seems like, because I remember when the remake got canceled, a lot of the podcast folks seemed to be really, really bummed about it, and I didn't think I'd ever heard of this game. Like, the new trailer looked cool. I don't know if this is one of these things where everyone remembers it so fondly because they loved it when it came out, but anyone who goes to it like with a fresh set of eyes is going to be like, I don't get it. But
wasn't it like an original Xbox game or something like that?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, that's why no one would have played it.
I'm going to be one of those guys. I will be able to tell you if it's just nostalgia talking for them or what. So
there are too many good games out right now that are too long that I just don't see where I can fit in a remake of a game that I'm not convinced is something I absolutely need to play. I mean, if someone believes it's something I absolutely need to play, then make your argument in an email, 250 words or less, and we'll read it on the podcast.
250 words or less. You putting word counts on this shit.
I don't yet. I'm not checking.
If it gets too long, you'll know what. You'll just stop yourself, judge yourself. If it's getting too long, cut it down a little. But yes, tell us why it's good.
I'm going to take your email. I'm going to put it in fucking Microsoft Word. That thing is a word counter. A counts. And we'll see if I read your email or not.
With a grade level reading, or a grade level rating of under 9.5. Remember, it used to. Does it still do that? Does it still assign a grade level to your writing?
I have no idea. I never noticed that.
I think it's in the word count page, because I don't think you could keep that thing up constantly, but I was checking that shit like every 2 lines because I was like, how close am I to being done with writing this paper? I gotta pad this shit out. And because I use way too many parentheses and commas, and I get sidetracked when I get into sentences. It was like always 13 or 14. Like, dude, this shit is fucking unreadable. Like, you need to chop some of these sentences in half, asshole. Anyway, speaking of assholes, I'm full of shit. We were talking about the ending for Twin Peaks last episode, and I was bringing up a snow globe, and then John was like, "No, dude, that ain't this." So I went and looked it up. The snow globe ending is Saint Elsewhere, which I don't know how it's getting. Kane. Yeah. But I was thinking like 70s, 80s. I guess Twin Peaks was 90s. TV shows, and like when I was looking this up, I don't know that there's too much parallel between those two shows that I would get it confused. But sorry, I'm full of shit.
I like how you were like, oh yeah, it's also that movie that everyone's like, this is the Citizen Kane of video games.
Right.
Yeah.
That qualified it as an art medium.
I think it's great what Citizen Kane did for the medium. I don't ever want to watch that again.
I've never seen it.
I watched it in high school.
Like, all I need is that GIF of him clapping in the theater. That's all I need from that movie.
Is that what that's from? Okay. Yep. There it is.
That's
Boy, if I'm wrong and that's not what that's from, I'm gonna catch a lot of shit. I'm pretty sure it's from that. I watched it when I was working at Blockbuster, so we're talking. I'm back when Blockbusters existed. So
you see, like that even confuses me more because like the they had the song "Actual Cannibal" Shia LaBeouf, which is one of the most amazing music videos I've ever seen in my life. And it's perfect to make you hate Shia LaBeouf just a little bit less. Whether you want to or not, it's okay, it's fine.
It's like, what did he ever do to anybody? And everyone hates him.
He was in the Transformer movies.
And he did attack that bum and try and take his burger or sandwich or whatever. And
sometimes, you don't know how hungry he was.
Didn't he plagiarize a bunch of shit?
Yeah.
I think that's what really turned people on him.
And then, like, plagiarize the apology.
He's a fucking. He is absolutely crazy. Like, have you seen that Screen Junkies video where they go to like the art thing he's doing, and it's like the Screen Junkie guy walks in, and it's just Shia LaBeouf sitting at a table with a bag over his head, and then the Screen Junkie guy takes the bag off, and it's just like Shia LaBeouf looking sad and crying, and like it's super like you want the video to be funny, but it's just awkward and sad.
I think I remember him. He live streamed a stream of himself watching his own movies.
Yeah,
All right,
he did do that.
That's all right.
That's
kind of all
actually
right.
kinda cool.
And he was good in Constantine, mostly because he dies. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so we got some releases coming out.
We sure do.
These are through 6/9. These are the games. On June 2nd, we got Tekken 7 for PC, PS4, Xbox One.
A fighter on PC.
Yeah, there's all kinds of fighters on PC.
I mean,
the netcode
plug
is
in the
shit.
controller. Yeah.
They're laggy and they're not great, but you know,
2D fighters
FPS
have never really been my bag, or 3D, or however you want to describe it.
Yeah, Tekken's definitely 3D.
I like Tekken just because it's ridiculous. Like
It's 3D, but it's the soul of a 2D fighter, right?
Like the move sets like contain very little. Like some characters will have a fireball or flight or something, but all the like you have fucking, you know, Jack that's a fucking robot in there. You have the one dude who turns into the devil.
There's a man with a cheetah head.
Yeah, that wrestler.
That's
dude.
not actually a cheetah head. That's a cheetah mask, but probably made from a real cheetah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and
never
there's
got
a
into
robot
Tekken.
one of him too. Was that King? Was that his name?
I think King was the cheetah, wasn't he?
Yeah,
think so.
and then Heihachi is the devil guy, right?
I think that's the
Or is
old
the-
man. I get it because the old man is the father of the guy who like it was Tekken 2 where you literally could do a thing and he would turn into like a flying demon, and there's another character that could turn into an angel or something.
But it's grounded, you know. That's why I like it.
Yeah, completely realistic.
Oh, I don't. My experience with Tekken these days is when I'm waiting for something cool to start broadcasting on Evo, like if it's Saturday afternoon, they haven't started like the good shit yet. I will watch some Tekken and go, you know what? Watching the best players in the world play this makes it look kind of interesting. I never want to touch it. Then we got June 6th. We got a couple coming out. There is Dirt 4 on PS4, XBO, PC. John, you're into racing stuff with your Forza and whatnot. Do we care about Dirt?
It's I own one of the Dirts because it came with a graphics card I bought.
Fred Dirts.
So like, I wanted to make a pun when you said Dirt 4 PS4, and like, well, yeah, Dirt's been out a long time. I mean, why is it anyway?
There's a saying, older than dirt.
Yeah, no, it appears to be a real popular franchise. It seems to be one of those more graphically inclined ones. I've never played it. I probably never will play it.
Okay. Well, then in 2 years we can talk about it being out on gold.
Yeah.
No, the only racing games I really get into are the.
We'll make a Fred Durst joke again.
You're damn right we will. I'm milking that shit till I die.
All right. Milk and Fred Durst.
Yeah. No. Don't anybody milk Fred Durst. Don't do that. So
it's because he's limp, isn't it?
We're stopping this right now. That the less talk about Fred Durst's dick, the better. And I don't mean on this show. I mean at all. Okay, so the games I was thinking of, what was that one that came out on last gen, PS3, Xbox One, where it was like you'd be driving through an airplane, an airplane hangar, like an airport where you're on the tarmac and you can hit a button and like an entire plane will crash into the racetrack and change the track. You remember what was called? No? Okay, it came out and got confused a lot with Blur, which was like realistic cars and graphics, but like Mario Kart.
Then Split Second. I think Split
Second
Second and Blur came out at the same time.
Those two were such great games, and like they came out. At least I don't know if they came out very close to each other, but they sort of in my mind occupy that same temporal space. and it's kind of a bummer because I think I really would have liked both of those if I got to spend more time with them, and it didn't happen. So speaking of other stuff that I'm not going to spend time with and isn't going to happen, we have Elder Scrolls Online has an expansion coming out the 6th. It is Morrowind. And the people who are into ESO seem to be really fucking stoked for that.
So how many people are really into ESO?
I don't know any.
Yeah. I was only on for that free weekend. As
Like,
I've regaled you guys with me carrying soup around in my pockets.
like, if I could go in that game and play it and not play it with any other people running around, then I might. Like, if they made a single-player version of ESO Morrowind, I could play... Oh, wait, I own it. It's called Morrowind, Elder Scrolls 3, and I'll just play that sometime.
I know you're making a joke, and you say that, but, like, it's really MMO-y. Like, quest givers just standing in a spot for forever, like, go get these things and come back to me, and there's, you know... I get it. Skyrim is doing favors for people, the game. But it feels way different online. Like, I don't want to explore any of that shit. I don't care about what's in any of these caves. Like, you know, Dude Balls just jumped over me like 40 times trying to go to wherever he's going. And it just takes you right out of it. The Dude Ball is real. Like, so in Skyrim where it's not necessarily cultivated, but it's sort of, you know, because so much emergent gameplay happens in those games, not least of which because there's so many fucking bugs in those things. Like that Fallout 4, I think it was a ghoul that got like stuck in the floor and like kept trying to bounce its way out, but there's this dead like dismembered ghoul that just looks like it's fucking its way to China. Like stuff like that is hilarious, but it just it doesn't take me out of as much in a single-player game as it does on an online one because I don't feel like anything matters. So I don't know.
Generally how I felt every single time I played a multiplayer game, is that nothing matters.
Never really got into any MMOs.
It's like, it completely dispels the entire illusion of the game that, like, there's anything special about you or your character or his abilities. You're just wandering around the virtual maze, pressing buttons either slightly better or slightly worse, or arranging your inventory slightly better or slightly worse, or arranging your skill set slightly better or slightly worse than everyone else wandering around there. So
that's video games. Like, that's what they are. It just seems to become so much more transparent.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, because as I said, because in a single-player game, there's an illusion. There's a certain seclusion from other people, kind of dispelling like
the seclusion
magic you're experiencing. But in an MMO where absolutely no one is trying and everyone is just ready to make fun of everything because that is what human beings seem to be about nowadays, myself included.
I was gonna say, what the fuck show do you think you're on, dude?
Yeah.
We just talked about jerking off a band dude from the 90s for like, what, 5 minutes?
A band dude.
A band dude. Well, he doesn't do anything. I can't assign him any talent. So
he rap medals.
Mm-hmm.
He does metal raps.
Speaking of metal raps, why don't you tell us about these movies that are coming out, Randy?
I guess because Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Herself in metal. All right.
I'm on my fucking transition game tonight, boys.
All right. So coming out June 2nd, I believe that's a week from tomorrow, is the WW, the Wonder Woman. Those trailers look pretty good to me. I'm hesitant because it's a DC movie property.
I'm waiting for the critic reviews to hit. I'm not like, granted they got
like there's kind of a fool me twice thing.
I mean, Gal Gadot is not a good
times.
Yeah, exactly. Fool me 5 times.
Gal Gadot is not a good actress, but the rest of the people involved seem to be talented folks that are making the movie. But it's a Warner Brothers property, and they always fucking stick their dick into everything. So,
like Wonder Woman. Okay.
Gal Gadot, look, you don't need an incredible actor to
That's
play
what I'm
Wonder.
saying. Like, I think
you don't
Wonder
need
Woman. You
She'll
can
be
play
fine.
Wonder Woman kind of woody, right? That'd be okay. Kind of statuesque. That
Wonder
might be all right.
Wooden. Yeah. I don't know. She doesn't have a ton of charisma, but like she'll do fine. And like those little kind
She'll
of
lasso people and fly an invisible jet.
I don't think they're gonna do the jet. I think they left that in the cartoons.
Look,
Well, I think it takes place in World War I times, right? They didn't have jets.
Yeah. Well, they did have jets. I mean,
Not
not
World War
jets. They had planes. They had, like, biplanes and shit, right?
Yeah, they had biplanes.
The invisible biplane. He's wearing the scarf.
Like Snoopy being the
right.
Red
So
Baron.
she's in the fighting scenes, like she has enough. She's emoting enough to where you can tell, like, oh, this character just loves fucking duking it out. So, like, I don't know if they accentuate that and they get enough of that out of her during the movie. I think it'll be fine.
It looks like it could be good. It's got some period piece draw. I like those.
I'm
Anyway,
waiting for the
I'm with
reviews.
you.
I am open
Yeah.
to being wrong, but like if it
Yeah.
gets a bunch of positive reviews, I'll go see it on like Saturday
Yeah.
or Sunday. And but no way am I going to that thing without some backup because I thought
Yep.
I thought Suicide Good
Tomatoes.
was going to be good, and boy was I fucking wrong
Dude,
there.
I knew Suicide Squad was going to be crap 4 weeks before it came out. Like all of the stuff they were talking about, reshoots are never good.
But those
Anyway.
trailers were so good.
You can edit 5 minutes of anything to look good.
Oh, they
Not even
edited
5
it
minutes,
with
like
different
90
movies.
seconds.
That was the problem. We've
Okay.
been over that a billion times.
So wait for the reviews, and then we'll go see it. Maybe, if the reviews are good. Okay, June 9th, a week later, The Mummy. With
Put
Tom
that on
Cruise.
this list. Oh my gosh. Talk about a boring entry. Are you really going to go see this, Jake?
I put it on there just because I wanted to remind everyone about the trailer that came out where they took out all the background music. Did you guys see that?
Mm-mm.
It's somebody went in and left all like the voices and stuff in, but they took out all the score and the background music and stuff. And it's like, I forget how long the trailer is, but it is uncomfortably long, and it's just, because it's Tom Cruise getting thrown around and running and just like getting thrown into shit. So it's just 90 seconds of him going.
Oh man,
so
one of the funniest things I've ever seen. This is a digression, but it's super funny. It's Bowie and somebody else, Jagger. It's "Dancing in the Street." It was the song they did together.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Someone did a music video. Well, they did a music video for it, but somebody edited it with no music and just a little bit of sound effects, like them dancing and their feet scuffling and stuff. And they're like, I don't know. It's the funniest thing. I highly suggest you guys go see it after this. Okay, so
There's got to be thousands of hours of stuff with like just the background stuff taken out, right?
Yeah, no,
There's so
a
much
lot of
stuff on
people
YouTube,
have done
there's
that.
gotta-
Yeah.
But I don't know. It can really, really be funny. So The Mummy, June 9th. Check it out. Okay.
No, don't.
I'm a Tom Cruise fan generally, but he has made some stinkers. June 4th, we're going to TV now. June 4th is Fear the Walking Dead Season 3. I kind of am in the same boat with this as I am with Walking Dead.
How
Kinda
are they
over
still
it.
making this thing?
Don't care. I mean, it's new people. They've got to be getting ratings. I watched the first season. It was as good as Walking Dead. But, like, I don't know. You don't want to... It's tough to get invested in an entirely new crew, right? And then, I don't know.
But
It
when
was
you
fun
say
watching
it was-
the outbreak happen.
When you say it's as good as Walking Dead,
It's as
did you
gripping.
mean it was as good as the Walking Dead episodes that were coming out when the show came out, or when Walking Dead started? Because that is a vast difference.
I think it was as good as, like... Yeah, I'd say it's as good as early Walking Dead.
Wow. Wow.
I
Okay,
thought it
I did
was.
not get that
It's
impression
fun
at all.
because you get to see. It's fun to see the outbreak happen because in Walking Dead you wake up after it, right? But there's definitely watching people turn for the first time before people know what's happening, and like they're in Los Angeles, which is full of people, and like martial law is declared. Seeing all of that go down was super interesting. I don't know that subsequent seasons, but probably would lack that, would be able to have the same drama to it. But I liked Walking Dead season 1. I haven't seen 2 or 3, and at this point I'm just kind of over the Walking Dead franchise.
That seems like the right way to approach it.
And then June 6th, the Jim Jeffries show coming out on Comedy Central. Jim Jeffries is the Australian guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he is fucking hilarious.
Have you guys watched his other TV show, Oh, I forgot the fucking
Wilfred?
name of it. No. There's only like half a dozen episodes of it.
That is him on Wilfred, though, playing the dog, right? Or am I confusing people?
No, I don't think so.
I've never seen Wilfred, so I don't
All
know.
right, we're doing Google Cast. Take it, Randy.
Oh boy, the Jim Jeffries show. I'm not personally a huge fan of Jim Jeffries, but I know a lot of people are, so I'm sure it'll do fine. That's all I got.
I'm not gonna find the name of his show, but his other TV show's really kind of funny. Like it's him taking care of a paralyzed kid and trying to get him laid.
Yeah.
And
By the way, totally not Jim Jeffries. It is Jason Gann.
wow,
But I'm going to forgive myself because he's in a fucking dog suit. So,
Everyone looks the same in a dog suit.
well, yeah.
All I know is that Elijah Wood was in that.
He's funny in that.
Legit. That's what it's called. Legit.
Oh yeah.
That show is not it's not fantastic, but it's pretty above. It's above decent, like kind of good.
Some decent laughs in there.
Yeah.
Well, he's playing himself, except not successful at his career, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I keep meaning to watch that, and I keep forgetting it's a thing.
Yeah, there are a lot of episodes, and I haven't watched the full thing. I only watched, I don't know, half the first season. I'm like, yeah, that wasn't bad, and then I don't know why I didn't go back, but it's okay. It's worth a couple watches. It's super fucked up. There's a lot of hookers in it. A lot of
Well,
drugs.
Jim Jeffries.
Well, no, I'm into it. All right, well, I mean, that's all we have for...
I wonder how he's going to... I mean, I guess it's Comedy Central, and they used to bleep out Jon Stewart all the time, but Jim Jeffries swears a lot.
Yeah. They
And
allow
like-
a lot more cursing on TV now, though, right?
Not the ones he uses.
I don't know. There's a lot of
Like,
comics
I'm not
that swear in
offended,
their
but that
sets,
shit ain't making it on the air.
No, a lot of comics swear in their sets, but then when they get their TV shows, they tone it. They play ball, right?
Yeah. Okay, so let's keep this thing trucking. We haven't even gotten to what we've been doing. So, streaming, May 30th, we're going to get F is for Family Season 2 on Netflix. That's the Bill Burr cartoon.
That's it, Bill Burr, yep.
Had the best prog rock joke I've ever heard.
Tell it to us now, it'll be great.
I haven't actually ever heard a prog rock joke. Prog rock joke before, but it's not like a verbal one. It's just they have an early prog rock band in there that's like Bilbo in the Shire or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's pretty great. But anyway,
it's a good show, but it does that weird BoJack Horseman thing where like you go into this expecting it to be a laugh a minute, and it kind of starts out that way, and then shit just keeps taking turns, and it's like you backed into this family drama. And it gets like really serious. And that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just, wow, don't go into this expecting it to just be, Kimmy Schmidt or something.
Yeah. Okay.
House of Cards Season 5, also on the same day on Netflix. And
I'm gonna watch it. I don't know why.
I still haven't seen the last season.
I've not watched any House of Cards.
The first two seasons are pretty great.
Yeah. Yeah, those are like top tier television programming of any type.
All right.
Those first two seasons.
Yeah.
3 was okay, and then 4, I don't think I remember anything about it. It wasn't notable. I don't know. I'm going to watch it out of habit, and you know what? Kevin Spacey is just fucking rad in that show, whether anything's happening or not. So I'll give it a chance.
He's good in just about everything he does.
Well, and right now my main worry about the show, and it's not that Trump doesn't deserve it, but my main worry is it's just going to become a Trump parody.
They're going to have a real tough time doing that.
Wow.
Because Frank, Christ, what's his name? Frank
Underwood.
Is
My
really
impression-
smart.
Yeah, he's not a buffoon.
And he's very, conniving and doesn't just say the first thing that pops into his fucking head, regardless of who he's talking to.
Uh-huh.
I'm not worried about that. I just think they've kind of maybe...
And I'll tell you this right now. I don't know much about the character, but I know this. Frank Underwood does not have a Twitter account.
That's true. He does play a lot of Call of
doesn't
Duty
have
in
one.
the game, though. But
in the movie, show.
anyway, also on May 30th, Sarah Silverman, A Speck of Dust. Is this a comedy special?
Must be.
I'm assuming it is.
I mean, she did like a drama movie, right? Like,
yeah, she did. That's
Yes.
right.
What was it?
I don't remember.
Anyway, I have
Um,
not seen any of her stand-up.
So here's the one that I had no idea about. June 1st, the Cyanide and Happiness show.
And what the fuck is CISO?
It is a website that appears to be trying to. They're trying to do their own like Hulu. It looks like they're kind of licensing other networks' programs to sell to people. It said it was $4 a month, so I'm guessing you're not getting, you're not getting House of Cards type stuff on there for $4 a month.
Yet.
I didn't actually look into their catalog. I just went, what the fuck is CISO? And went to the site and was like, oh, that's a CISO. And then moved on. But I really fucking, like, the guys who do Cyanide and Happiness, I think they might be the funniest guys on the internet. Like, and it's crazy. They're fucking, their batting average is so high with the jokes. Like,
they put out that joke building game that we play sometimes, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
What's that called?
I don't remember, but it's basically...
Anyway, that's dead air. But that's a fun game.
It's basically Cards Against Humanity, but...
It's way better than Cards Against Humanity.
I forget how much you dislike that game.
I just am not into cards anymore.
So
I don't know.
Their batting average is so high. Like, you go through 100 of their comics, and maybe 2 of them are clunkers. Like, I don't know how these guys keep putting out... I don't know how they keep coming up with these jokes. I mean, they're doing them 3 times a week, and they've got animated series and stuff now. Like, I don't know how they do it, but fucking good on them. Man.
Well, awesome.
And then on June 9th, Orange is the New Black Season 5.
Orange.
I really like this show. Like, I started watching it just because, like, it was part of the Zeitgeist, and I was like, I gotta know what this is about. And I turned it off after, like, 2 episodes. I was being a dumbass. It's real girly. And, like, it just felt so confined being in a prison. I was like, I don't want to spend my free time in a prison. Like, what am I doing?
Surrounded by women? No.
And then I gave it a little more rope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And man, that show gets real fucking good. So I'm actually really looking forward to this.
Okay.
Not to the point that I would have, downloaded it from someone who was trying to ransom Netflix or anything, but...
Oh, yeah.
No, that was it. There wasn't a segue there.
Yeah.
Nope, no segue. So you beat Persona 5.
Oh, you're just going to skip all the other news stories we put in here.
Scroll down, motherfucker.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, we got to speed through these things, and then
Do
we
you
can...
even computer, bro?
Yeah.
Let's get through the rest of these quick, guys.
Okay, Destiny 2.
Yeah, what about it?
Maybe not that quick.
Yeah, like I'm not saying...
At the bottom.
Like, we can go to 9:30, it's okay. Just...
Are you excited for this, Randy?
I'm excited for Destiny 2. I don't know about PC via Battle.net. Like, whatever. I'm going to get it on PS4, so that doesn't really apply to me. But yeah, I'm excited about Destiny 2. I played the shit out of Destiny.
I played the open beta for the first one over a weekend, and I was like, not doing it for me, and moved on.
I can understand why some people won't like it, but I don't know. It just worked for me.
Mouse and keyboard, though, you guys might get me with that if you get rid of some of the MMO shit, but we'll see.
They
I
won't.
don't know. I haven't seen a whole lot about it. I don't get too excited about trailers for video games anyway. But yeah, I mean, I'll get it. It's on the list. I'll get it for sure. I already know that I'll get it.
Okay.
Day one.
So the next story, I will try to refrain from joking during it, because it's a bad
I'm really
thing.
treating this with the respect it deserves.
I know. I already
screwed it up.
I already fucked up.
You got a big foghorn or some clown noises you can play in the background while you're talking about this?
So Zack Snyder has abandoned. I say abandoned. He has left Justice League. His daughter committed suicide a couple months ago, and he was hoping to kind of just pour him back into work, but he came to the realization that really he needed to be spending time with his family and mourning, and so he's left it. Joss Whedon is finishing things up, so obviously, like, that movie comes out in a half year. It's not like Whedon's going to film a bunch of extra scenes or something at this point.
Yeah, and he
he's in
said,
charge of post-production, really.
Yeah, he even said, like, look, the movie's done. Like I'm just riding this one across the finish line. He's not rewriting anything.
Yeah.
But like, what bums me out is that like this was months ago. This happened, and every post I've seen about Justice League coming out or any of this, and like we might have even done it ourselves, it's just people just giving Zack Snyder shit, and it's like, oh man, like I really hope all those people feel real fucking awful right now.
Well, and it's like, no matter how you might feel about his movie-making abilities, like, I mean, obviously, I've certainly bashed on him a fuck ton. Like, he's still a human being, and you can still empathize with his loss and empathize that he's, it may have taken him 2 months to make the right decision for his family, but he did it, and that's, I think, better than probably 90% of Hollywood. So,
and he just seems like a good dude. Like he does these movies because he likes this stuff and he wants to do a good job. And whether you think he succeeds or not, like I think some of his early stuff was really good. I really liked 300. I really liked Watchmen after second viewing. People shit on him. I get that. I think there was a lot to like about Sucker Punch. Plot cohesion wasn't one of those things, but there's some, like, he has some cool fucking ideas, and people just overlook that, which is kind of a bummer, but...
Yeah, anyway, is what it is, but hopefully people will be a decent human being to him for the most part, but, the way news works nowadays, they just find the most toxic thing to shine a light on, so...
Yeah.
Anyway, so, continuing on, the Far Cry 5 poster released, and they also released kind of a teaser trailer type thing.
This is going to be real fucked up.
This is, it kind of looks like the game's going to take place in Montana. And the poster and the trailer, to me, indicate you are basically going up against, what the fuck's that stupid church called that protests the funerals?
I know who you're talking about.
I don't get that impression at all.
Oh, you don't?
I think it's going to be like some old school, like Ruby Ridge nationalist types.
I heard one person...
It's either going to be that or these jackasses that hold up in the national park for like a month and a half over the winter.
Yeah, I had heard that theory.
Ranger station.
Mixed with a lot of... Well, because isn't it the French studio of Ubisoft that makes most of these Far Cry games?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so it's that mixed with a...
Westboro, that's what they're called.
Okay.
Westboro.
That's what... Well, and the I'm sorry, continue, Jake.
Just mixed with a non-American sensibility of, holy fuck, these Americans are really churchy and love their guns. Like, it's going to be super fucked up, and I know we're trying to go quick, so I just want to mention the one thing that's really fucked up is in the trailer, it's all live action, and you hear this church bell ringing, and as they zoom in, you realize it's a guy, like, bashing a dead dude's head into the side of the bell to make it ring. Like,
wow, I did not catch that at all.
Yeah, he's got a dead, or at least unconscious, on his knees, and he's just, this bell's ringing, and it's just this big burly dude just bashing this motherfucker's head into the side of the bell. Oh,
man, one of those guys. Okay. One of those guys kind of looks like Kevin. Like the guy on the far left, like he has the same beard that Kevin has.
Beard and the bald head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. We need to get him.
It's going to be super fucked up.
Black and gray checked shirt.
I'm sorry, Kevin. Not that you listen to this podcast, but
nope.
Anyway, like I think this game could be cathartic. Like if it's just like the that fight scene in Kingsman in the church. Like if it's just like 16 hours of that, like I'm down.
I still need to see that.
Oh, well, you should see that.
I will. So, okay, last thing for news. The Xbox Game Pass, not to be confused with the Blockbuster Game Pass, it's that $9.99 separate subscription service. It's $9.99 a month, and then they have 100. At least for now, they have 100 games that you can download. It's not streaming. You download them. You can play them as long as you still have the service. You're subscribed. I guess that's for the Xbox One games. I was reading some stuff that like the 360 games, once you download them, they're yours forever, which seems crazy. But But I was looking over the list. It's live for Xbox Gold members right now. Everyone else gets access to it on June 1st. Some of these games are pretty good. You got the BioShock trilogy. Some are kind of more not awesome, like Comics Zone from back on the Genesis, which I remembered loving, and it's not great.
I don't remember that.
Devil
I
May
also
Cry,
didn't have Sega either.
the sort of remake, all the Halo stuff, obviously, but if you like that stuff, you already have it. Some older NBA 2K stuff, a lot of the re-released Sega games, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Spelunky. We got Soul Calibur 2, which I seem to remember liking that a lot.
That was a popular one.
And then you got some more recent stuff. You got Sunset Overdrive. You got the Super Mega Baseball Extra Innings, which I put way too much time into that game for what it is. But, go
Super
online,
Mega
check out the
Baseball.
list. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I don't know that they've got my $10 a month just yet. But like Mad Max is on here. That came out last year? So I don't
Probably.
know. We'll see how this develops. It looks like it could be pretty cool. I don't know that you're going to be able to dump 140 hours into any of these games, but
I don't know. I'm glad they're
that's your
doing
cue,
it.
John.
Oh, that's what you were saying with the I beat Persona 5.
Excellent.
Hooray!
So
Yay.
kind of finishing thoughts on that game is I really like the game's overall story. I had to fight myself to not immediately start a new game. Like I'm pretty sure
That's what everyone's saying.
I'm pretty sure I could get through it faster, and I got a really good
Oh, sure.
percentage completion on my Persona compendium. But I'm just
Were
gonna
you
put it on
using-
hold for a while, huh?
Were you using walkthroughs or videos or anything on your first playthrough? Or did you just go in blind and just make whatever choices you wanted to?
I never use videos because they're really annoying to go to while I'm playing a game on console. Generally, like the Persona games, they only have one divergent path, and that is, do you end the game early by not following through whatever the true path is, And I went on the true path, and I did it, I read a brief thing real early on about it, and all I remembered is that you had to disagree with this one character, so honestly, when you get to that position in the game, I think you would have a hard time not disagreeing with that character at that point anyway. But
Okay, but as far as optimization, because you only have so many hours in a day, as far as all that stuff and building up your points and your dudes and your guts, what? But all that stuff, you're saying that you just sort of you winged it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like some of the the last, because the game takes place over about 9 months. So the last month of the game, I was actually referring to walkthroughs in terms of my what are they called? Confidants, what the social links are called now. Just so I could get the most points on them and try and get them maxed out.
Now, when you say social links, do you mean like a friendly cat? Because I could see Persona having a fucking links in it.
No.
Okay.
No. That is, you go hang out with your friend, and you have choices, you have response choices to make with them, and certain choices gain you more points with them, and if you gain more points with them, then their link levels up, and they like you better, and they do more for you, and then you can summon better personas.
And this all works basically the same in 5? They just call it something different?
Yeah, they call it confidants.
Confidants, right.
Yeah, because the whole theme is that you're thieves, right? You're stealing shit. They had a really good article on Waypoint, I thought, about this, and I don't remember who wrote it. I think it was a freelancer, but the thing is they were talking about how about Persona 3 and 4 were kind of about doing the right thing and this and that, and how Persona 5 was entirely about the system is fucked and you have to do some bad shit to fix the system, which I kind of appreciated. I'm stating it in a more extreme manner than reality. You're not fucking causing the French Revolution in Tokyo or something. But anyway, it's a really good.
It's important to have confidence if you want people to like you. You got to come across as really believing in yourself.
Yeah,
You got to have confidence.
Yeah.
Gotta have confidants to make confidants, son.
I will say after beating the game, and I know it's probably hard for most people to fathom a 120, 140 hour game having anything not but what I'm about to say. But the game is bad pacing, especially when you compare it. Yeah, I know. But like when you compare it to Persona 3 and 4, it just straight up has bad pacing. But like everything, like the dungeons are all great and stuff, but in terms of the day-to-day kind of story progression and things like that, I think it detracts from you connecting with the characters. I think it detracts from a lot of things. And some of it I think was done, and this is because the storyline was was constructed.
When you say that, do you mean there's too much downtime where you're just doing chores and like you'd rather not be doing that? You'd rather the stuff be moved along, or what do you mean by that? How is the pacing bad? I guess I'm asking.
Gotcha. So in Persona 4, for example, all your characters would be trying to solve this mystery of, who's this person gonna knock into the TV next that we have to go save, and then the person would get knocked in, and you'd have to go find out more about them, and then go on the TV and save them, and then you could go and do chores and stuff, and time would pass and would kick off. And this game does a similar thing, but the writing and the downtime events are not good enough. It doesn't...
The downtime events? Because it's a Japanese game, it's just big font on the screen. Down the time event!
No.
Down the time event!
No. Quit being racist.
It's just you sitting around.
No, it's just none of the team building kind of events were fun or good. You know, like going out to dinner with your friends or anything, or going to the beach with them. Like they were all fairly forgettable and not particularly entertaining, and you didn't really like Persona 3. You had characters who had lost. Like Persona 3 was very much about loss. Almost every character in that game had someone die in their life. And that even happens in the storyline. They pull an heiress at one point. And Persona 4 isn't quite as dark as that. I mean, Persona 3 is fucking dark. Kids shooting themselves in the head to summon their personas and shit like that.
Yeah, that's super fucked.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like kids shooting themselves in the head. I can get behind that.
But I've been trying to refine this criticism because it's something I came to, and I've been thinking I've really got to figure out a way to back this up and explain it better. But I may have to, Picking Up the Pixels will eventually do a spoiler cast on it, and whenever Mina beats that game, I may kind of start a second playthrough and kind of refine my criticism so I can better air it there, because some of it is going to be hard to talk about anyway without going into spoilers. But overall, I think it's a really good game. I think it's a good addition to the Persona franchise. I think if you've never played one and you're interested in it, then this is the no better time to hop in.
So is this the one you would recommend new people would jump into, or
Yeah.
would you say 4?
No, this there's a lot of
Is there a lot of quality of life improvements and stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there are too many, if you like this one, by all means, go check out 4. But 4 is going to have a couple things that are a little bit more stagnant. And if you go back to 3 is a straight-up dungeon crawler, it's a procedurally generated dungeon that, like Persona 3 takes entirely in place in one dungeon whenever you're doing the dungeon crawling part, and that dungeon is over 300 levels long.
Nope.
It's all procedurally generated, and so you kind of run into this thing where the next event's coming up, so you gotta go, okay, I gotta fucking do 10, 15 levels of this dungeon in one game night kind of thing, and it's not as bad as it sounds, because you can generally do one about every 5 to 10 minutes, if you're really booking it, but but it's it's way more hardcore than the others.
Persona 3, something happens every 2 hours. It's right there in the box.
Persona 3 is really good, but it's a very different game in a lot of ways. But I'm excited to see what else they do with this engine, especially once they ditch off PS3. I can't believe they released this on PS3. I can. I'm willing to bet that they made the fucking game for PS3, and then they're like, well, shit. Now we got to make it for PS4 because PS4 just came out. So, but
Maybe. I mean,
anyway, let's take this conversation past this fence.
I don't know enough about that thing to really comment on any of that stuff. I was going to start talking out of my ass. I decided against it. So you've probably seen an advertisement or a panel for Beyond the Gates on Netflix. Does it sound familiar to either of you guys?
Nope.
I feel like this was showing up in every one of my, like, this is trending. And it's like, no, this shit isn't trending. You just want people to watch it.
Stop trying to make it trend.
I've been in fucking Wichita for what feels like a month. It was only
They've got the internet in Wichita, dude.
In my hotel room, that fucking Wi-Fi was crap.
but they have to hand deliver it.
Yeah, it's gas powered.
It's just, someone brings you a bag of bytes and like, here, put these in your computer.
I'm sorry, do you guys watch Netflix on your fucking phone?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sometimes.
This morning I was doing that. Anyway, normal people have probably seen lots of advertisements for Beyond the Gates, and it just looked like garbage to me. It looked like some stupid fucking 80s movie that, because Netflix doesn't really get anything big name anymore, they're starting to go further and further back, and they're like, all right, well, this is a weird horror movie from the 80s. Let's throw it on there. It is not that at all. It has got the main character, the actor who is the main character in John Dies at the End. He's it's about two brothers whose dad dies, and he owns a video store. Like, it's not a rental store, it's like a, weird VHS tapes and just sort of weird knickknacks and stuff like that. Huge place. And so they have to go clean it up. So, like, they're getting ready to sell it or just dispose of it or whatever. So it's about these two kids in the town they grew up in, and just kind of cleaning up their dad's stuff. And they find this video game, like a video board game. Do you guys remember those being a thing back in like the early 90s? You get a board game and then you put a VHS tape in and it guides you through it?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Okay. So they find one of these and it's haunted. Ooh. It actually turns out that it's a really good movie.
It's super haunted, you guys.
It's cray haunted. No, that's not a 90s word. I don't know any 90s words. I don't know any. Bitchin'? Hella?
Gnarly.
Yeah.
Tubular?
Uh-huh.
It's tubular haunted.
Cowabunga?
Tubes haunts, yo.
Tubes haunts.
So anyway, it turns out that this thing's haunted, and it goes down the whole horror story thing. But the way they take it, like, I don't know if, like, directors or anyone else who had anything to do with John Dies at the End was involved with this, but it has a very similar feel. Like, when shit gets bloody, it is way over the top bloody. Like, to the point where you can sort of see the gag. You can tell how they did it. But man, shit gets real fucking gory in this thing, and when you like don't see it coming. So it's got that guy. The other brother is an actor I didn't recognize, but he's pretty good in it. And then the other brother's girlfriend in the show is played by the sort of pixie blonde girl from Heroes, who was the speedster. Do you guys remember her?
I don't. Actually, now that you say that, I don't even remember a speedster in Heroes.
Yeah, she's real cute. Like blonde, kind of frizzed hair. You'd know if you saw her. At any rate, she's really good in this too. And it's really clever how they went about. Like, they made an 80s horror movie, but it's modern, and it's just, I don't know. It really works. Watch the first half hour. If you don't like it, fine, turn it off. But at least give it until the game gets going. And they figure out what the game is, because of course they have to play the game because it's one of those movies. But it's good. There's not a lot of crazy robot people that are coming to save the Earth from the machines that people put on the Earth that fucked them up, and now they had to leave, so they made new machines to go back. I make that up. I don't know anything that's like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I picked up Near Automata for my expedition, my exodus into Wichita. Like, God, like people have really talked this game to death. Like much smarter people than me to a degree. Like the writing is real fascinating and super depressing. Like almost all the side missions I've done, I'm like, do I have to do this? And then I go and do it. I'm like, oh man, that's a bummer. I probably shouldn't have done that. And like even the one where I'm like, oh, that one had a nice ending. I later like got an email from my boss in the game, like that gave it a bad ending. But the thing I haven't really heard people talk about is the gameplay in the world traversing in this game is not good.
That's what turned me off to it in the demo.
Like it's not. I'm not gonna say it's like super bad, but it's. I don't want to call it open world. Maybe open procedure or open sandbox or something like, because it's not. It's definitely not a world that feels lived in, but at the same time, the story in the game kind of necessitates that. But it's still
that's the point.
It's still also kind of the go collect these things so you can upgrade your stuff, and all the missions are going to be essentially either fetch quests or kill guys. I mean, which are honestly every mission in every game. Period.
Yeah, video
but
games. Yeah.
Some are much better at the illusion than an Ubisoft game. So the thing that bugs me the most about this game is while you're wandering around, there's all these broken down buildings that have holes and gaps in them, and you can't fucking walk through them. And it is maddening when you're like, let me walk this. Oh, I can't. Okay. But this building, for some reason, has a foyer I can go in. Sure. Okay. Whatever game.
I might be remembering it incorrectly, but I feel like there's a mini-map in the corner that sort of tells you what is traversable area. I mean, not to minimize how aggravating that sounds like it is.
No, and
but
it does. It does.
Debilitating, right?
Once you get used to the way the game's communicating to you, it's not debilitating, but it takes a little while to adjust to it. The other annoying thing is like there's this one guy where he's the reoccurring fight test your might guy, right? Like you get a quest from him, you beat him, and he's like, "Oh, well, go get me these materials, and we'll fight again." And
yeah, we'll do another might fight.
So to get to him, you can't just fucking jump on the building rooftop he's on. You have to jump on like 4 other fucking rooftops to get to that rooftop. So you're always doing this fucking horseshoe circle to get to him. It's super annoying. But it's, and then, like, there's this, like, I was in this story fight with these 2 characters from the machine world where I wasn't supposed to win, but I kept dying on it, so I kept having to redo the fight anyway, which is, like, just let them talk then if that's going to be the case. I don't have to do everything every second.
These seem like fixable problems. Like, when you get to the might fight dude, and you talk to him, or you do your first night might fight, you get a rope ladder, or just a regular ladder, or an elevator. You pull a lever, something like that's fixable. Yeah. For the bosses that you're never supposed to beat, we fixed this problem 20 years ago. Yeah. Like when it takes you down to 0, instead of the game over screen, it just goes to a cutscene, and so, oh, I was supposed to lose that. Still infuriating, but at least you don't have people restarting the game thinking they were supposed to be doing something they weren't. Like,
so the other thing, like this, and I'm not done bitching either. Like, there are other things. Like, one, like, I bought the game thinking, oh, well, the girl's fully clothed. Like, this isn't going to be a pervy game. I don't understand why people are making pervy things. And now that I played it, I completely understand. Because she's wearing a thong, and her fucking skirt is constantly blowing up. She is an android wearing a thong. So she is, and because of that, like my brain is just
USB port covered. Oh no, it's a USB port. Am I right? Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
All right, you can cut that one out in post, right?
So yeah, no. So the other thing this game does is it tries to do kind of a Dark Souls thing, but mixed in with the whole robot storyline, and that when you die, you have to go back to your body to get your stuff back. The stuff you lose, I guess, is the experience since your last save, because you're a robot, so you're constantly recording your memories and beaming them up to the station, right?
It's a new body that you're getting every time you get beamed. Oh, that's a cool idea.
Yeah,
That
like
makes sense now.
like-
Penny Arcade did a strip on Wednesday about how it's Dark Souls because you have to go back and get your stuff all the time.
yeah. That's, I mean,
That doesn't sound as punchy as their usual jokes, but okay.
it's still annoying.
Well, I'm paraphrasing.
Because if you die, you know, obviously you can't get your chips, but they, honestly, they've mostly made it it's more of an annoyance than anything, luckily. But it's still, like, because in the game, you know, everything is a mod. All of your UI is a mod on a chipset, and you can take it all off. So if you don't want to see your health bar, and then, granted, your health bar thing, like, does not give you much room to add something in, but, you know, you could take off your health bar, the enemy's health bar, seeing the damage numbers above the enemy, and then maybe equip a, you know, melee weapon +1 type mod or something like that. But if you die, then that mod is on your body, and then if you die again before getting back to your body, then you lose that mod.
It's a moddy body.
Yeah. So honestly, I really kind of like the mod system. I mean, you gotta like mods over skinheads. I mean, that was the, you guys probably aren't, well, it doesn't matter. I don't have too many mod jokes, honestly.
Yeah, I way whiffed on that one. I got nothing.
Yeah. I don't know. I was hoping I would herald something out, but, you know, mods. Harold and Maude. That's a movie. That's okay.
Nope.
Okay, I give up. Anyway,
It is. It's just bad.
I'm still enjoying Nier Automata, even if it has a lot of issues. I'm getting kind of used to the combat, but I still don't think like it's all that great gameplay wise, and I don't think it's a great world necessarily to traverse. But I think the side stories are interesting enough to seek out. And I do like that as you get better mods, a lot of it makes some of the gameplay bearable. Like, don't take damage for 8 seconds and, you know, you heal some. Or...
By playing a lot, you can upgrade this into a playable game.
Yeah.
Great.
That's exactly what it feels like. So, but I'm...
Jesus, like playing Clash Royale.
I am excited to be super depressed with all the stories and all the endings, so looking forward to that. But anyway, I know there's a lot of wrongness in the world that
Speaking of lots of endings, Injustice 2 is 2 endings, so that's my segue, and I'm sticking to it. It's
All right.
I really, the more I'm playing this, the happier I am with this purchase. When I love the first Injustice. I have it on PC. I think I have it on PS3. I think I have it on PS4. I had it on my phone. I had it on my iPad. Like, I had that fucking game on everything, and really, really liked it. In large part because of the story. I mean, the fighting was good, and I liked it because I liked NetherRealm stuff. But it was the story. This one, the writing and stuff is still like good as far as dialogue and stuff is concerned. I don't know that the plot is very sensical. But like, I went back and reread a synopsis today to just kind of refresh myself on what happened. And reading it, I was like, oh yeah, this was all pretty fucking dumb. But like, I was taking down notes as I was playing it, and one of the notes I took is, this game is a movie with fights, and I don't even care. Like, so playing through it, I was having a great experience, but going back to it, it's like, oh yeah, the story's kind of goofy. And there's a lot of... Like, in the first Injustice, there was a couple times when someone got wedged in just so you could have, like, this guy be bad, so you could have, you know, Batman fight Green Lantern, except the Green Lantern's a Yellow Lantern, oh no! And, like, that was goofy but plausible. Ares literally popping out of thin air to fight Wonder Woman, little goofy. But, like, that stuff was pretty minimal. Here... It's left and right. Like, there's no fucking reason for these guys to show up. Like, Atrocitus, who's a Red Lantern, just shows up to fight. Like, he's like, I'm going to make you mad now. And then they fight. And he goes away. He's like, okay, I didn't make you mad. Goodbye. And this little cat runs up on his shoulder.
Oh man, is Dexstar in it?
Oh yeah.
Is he playable?
Not by himself, but he's your circle move.
Oh, as Atrocitus?
Dexstar is Atrocitus's like circle button.
Okay.
So like when you hit it, as Green Lantern increases your light powers, or as Batman it brings down those remote control batarangs. For him, it is make the cat do some shit. It's cool. I haven't seen a lot of him yet because he's a big lumbery dude, and that's not really my fighting style in those games.
Right.
But I'm sure I will get to him, because one of the things it's simultaneously a very good thing and kind of a shitty thing about this game, and that's that the leveling system, like you remember in the last one where you'd win fights and your profile would level up and you get new backgrounds for your icon or whatever?
Oh yeah.
All that stuff was fine. Like, and you'd get more for finishing a fight with a super move or whatever. And oh, by the way, super moves are fucking rad. I never don't laugh when I see the flashes. I don't want to spoil it, but it's fucking awesome. So anyway, each of the fighters has their own independent level. So like, you level up Superman by playing him. You level up Supergirl by playing her. And the loot that drops for you, which is actually pretty plentiful. There's a lot of loot that drops. Sometimes you get Poison Ivy's seductive head. There's fun names for all this stuff, but there's a lot of it that drops. And the shitty thing is, it all has level requirements too. So if you get these super rad boots, like the story unlocks a lot of quote unquote epic costume pieces, and they're all level 20. Well, level 20 is the max. So in order to use any of this sweet gear that you just got in like an hour and a half into the story, you got to dump another, who knows. I mean, I played Batman the most because, of course. And I think I got him up to level 11. And I played basically him and mostly only him for a week.
So is the... okay, so a couple questions here. One, is there an inventory limit?
I haven't hit it yet, but it's my understanding that there is.
Okay. And then the next question is how many of these items actually change what your character looks like in the game?
It seems like most of them.
Okay.
Now, granted, I don't have enough characters leveled up high enough that I'm really seeing a ton of stuff yet. Because a lot of what I can equip is level 1 to 3, and they're all commons. So.
Well, and like what's the variety of equipment? Like, can you put Batman in red boots and green gloves and an orange tank top or something? Or
it's not that. I mean, yes, you can, just not all at the same time. So, because all this gear, they knew you were going to be dropping all this gear, and they didn't want to have that problem of bringing up Penny Arcade again. The joke that they made when the Burning Crusade expansion came out, and everyone looked like a fucking clown running around because they had, a purple hat and blue shoes and green pants. Like, everyone looked like a fucking idiot. So I think in order to minimize that, they have, I think they call them shaders. But, every character starts out with, let's say 10 or 12 shaders. And those are just color palettes that you can apply to the costume overall. So, Robin, and this is Damian Wayne. He's got the sword and shit, and, I was like, wow, he's really fucking people up. And then he was like, Damian! Oh, it's fucking, yeah, his boy. Sorry. So, he's got, sort of his standard red and yellow, the black hood / cape with the yellow inside, and then, green and red. But you can sort of invert those, and then he's got, some blues and some blacks and some purples, and, depending on the character. Go ahead.
And they have different outfits, too, overall, right?
Well, that's what changes. Each piece that you swap out has its own look. So, Supergirl has some sets of legs, which is weird because they don't refer to them as pants. They refer to, you got Supergirl legs. It's like, yeah, you're damn right I do, son. Check them out. But, some of them will be pants. Some of them will be your traditional skirt, which I think works better on the character, but I feel kind of pervy thinking that. So, some of Superman stuff, if you get a Superman head, some of it will be this weird sort of quasi wraparound kind of not tiara thing, but like this, like a gambit. What is that thing that Gambit has up the back of his head? Like, so it covers some of his forehead, but his hair's sticking out.
I don't know, man.
Oh yeah,
Like
he has like one of those face,
like a face shield, or no, that's not the right word. It's a face hugger. You get a face hugger and you put it on Superman's face.
Yeah.
You know, like the old song says, you don't hug on Superman's face. Anyway, so like some stuff would be just plain visors, and so that's where everything starts looking different. Some of it's better than others. But man, the online is fucking great. And this is coming from a guy who hates multiplayer stuff. The matchmaking is really good. There's some really cool guild stuff. I was playing matchmaking last night, and in ranked mode, people can use all their gear. So you can run into people who have like, hey, here's my level 20 Black album, Adam. My level 20 Black album. Was Metallica put out back in 91.
That'd be level 26, I guess.
18, 26, around there, whatever. So, like, you know, he's got all his epic and you know, unique gear or whatever, and he'll just whip your ass. But the thing about the matchmaking is, like, even with that stuff, you know, we're a couple weeks in, so the people who want to get overpowered have, generally to this point. I think I probably played maybe 25 or 30 matches last night, and I'll bet my win-to-loss ratio is maybe 1-to-1, maybe 1.25 to 1. So, like, the matchmaking is really good. And then the guild stuff, I'm still wrapping my head around it. Did either of you guys pick up Mortal Kombat X?
Yeah, I did.
I think.
Do you remember the? Go ahead.
Oh, as I say, I don't think I played X, but I played 9.
Okay, 9 didn't have it. X had all the, like, you could join a guild or a clan, which I'm sure they spelled with a K, but it was probably a poor decision on their part. Do you remember that stuff, Randy?
No.
Or like you join a faction. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
So you could join like the Lin Kuei or Special Forces or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And then players would do towers, and that would contribute faction points to your faction, and that would level up, and you can get special fatalities and stuff. They're doing a similar thing with guilds in this one. So like you can have, I think, 25, 30, or 50. There is a limit to the number of people you can have in a guild. But you'd go on these, they call it the multiverse, but it's basically the towers like Mortal Kombat had, which is a really cool idea because there's infinite planets. So like you can just come up with whatever scenario you want because there's infinite planets. It's a cool idea. And then as you complete stuff for those, you get guild points, and then you can spend those on loot boxes. Hooray. But it's really cool, and I only figured out how to do it the first night I joined the guild. But they're actually like guild bosses. So like you and 2 other guild mates will go and all fight, like in my case it was a level 20 Cheetah. Cheetah being the name of a character in Wonder Woman, not like you're fighting an actual cheetah. And like she's super overpowered, and like the AI's turned up to very hard. And you guys go in one after another. It's like you'll tag in. Actually, I think you have to die. I don't think you can tag out voluntarily. But like, I can pick from 3 power-ups that are all on global cooldown, and like drop power-ups into the fight to help your guy. So like, at the beginning of the fight, you can drop a bunch of defense power-ups or like offense power-ups to help him, you know, survive. And then as he starts going down, you can start tossing health into the ring and stuff. And that's a really cool idea. It just seems like that there's, at least the guild I joined, I don't know if there's a way to see all the people who are online concurrently. I mean, there is, and there's a group chat. It just doesn't seem like, it seems like it would be weird, and you'd have to sit in the guild page to kind of see that stuff, and I don't think that's how people play this game. But the last thing, and then we can kind of wrap it up for the night here, is the loot and the inventory management system is fucking awful. It's terrible. And there's nothing necessarily super bad about the management in and of itself. The problem is it's a very big time waster. So like when you open a loot box in, I don't know, Overwatch, or you open a card pack in Hearthstone, and you get it's got to glow and then crack and then explode, and you get the cards, and then you got to turn them all over individually. Like, that works fine in Hearthstone because you're getting unless you're one of these YouTubers who just wants a lot of views when the new expansion comes out and you're opening 100 packs, you're generally only getting like maybe 2 or 3 packs at once that you're opening. Well, here I logged in, and don't get me wrong, I like that I'm getting a lot of these loot boxes. It's awesome. But they all have to do their own animation, and then they split apart, and you see the rarity, and then the rarity all kind of these starbursts all fall into a grid of some type or a shape, and then they all show you what they actually are. And then you have to hit the X button, and then you have to hold down the X button, wait for the circle to go around to confirm you want to open this thing, wait for it to shine and crack and spin and explode, and do this all over again. And last night when I started playing, so this is before I even played any matches, from the guild accomplishments and just playing and achievements and stuff, I had, I want to say, somewhere around 60 loot boxes. So I was opening these things for 18 minutes before I even played the game. Just because they take so long. And yeah, I got some cool stuff out of them, but it's not like you can even look at your phone and hold down the X button, because you have to hold it down to open the thing and then tap it to acknowledge all the shit you just got.
John, do you remember the opening the crates in the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer? That was like that. It took forever.
Did it? It's been a long time.
It's been a long time, but you had to open up each one over and over.
So like,
you couldn't just open them all up.
This is patchable. Like, they can fix this. If they put in a button that says, because you have your bronze, silver, gold, diamond, platinum, and then your guild, bronze, silver, etc. If you want to make me open those individually, like those classes, that's fine. Give me an open all button, and I'll open all my bronze boxes at once, and you can just, yes, I'll confirm when you show me what I got, but just rattle them off. I don't need to watch this thing open 40 times. Do that. I can fix it.
Do it.
As far as the actual loot management, I'm very nervous for when I start getting to the item limit. I think there's going to be a lot of press, hold, confirm. Do you really want to delete this or sell it? Okay, confirm, and just going down a big long list of shit.
Oh, jeez.
I'm worried. I haven't tried it yet, but that's what I'm concerned about. But it's fun. It's the story is great. It's Superman doing Superman dick stuff, and it's fun. I really like it, and even though the story is goofy, if you are even remotely interested, pick it up. Do not probably spend $100 on it like I did, since you still don't get Darkseid.
What? What? Like, okay, so Darkseid's a playable character.
He has a pre-order bonus. I spent $100 on this game thinking I would get all the DLC, and because I didn't pre-order it, I have to give him another $5 for Darkseid. So the answer is, fuck Darkseid. I will never play Darkseid.
That would do it. Yeah.
But it definitely, I know it's been on your radar, John. Keep it on your radar.
It's, I got the place I work at now does this whole health incentive thing to save on their health insurance prices. And I have a gift card coming my way, so it's either going to be this or Prey is going to be my next game. Either this or...
So you're spending your health money on something that's going to require you to not move for long stretches of time.
On a sedentary activity.
I mean, it's either I always want to call it infamous. Injustice 2 or Eat, Love, Pray, so,
Sweet, I'm buying $75 worth of Twinkies. Fuck you.
Is that I haven't actually seen Eat, Love, Pray.
I don't know. I was just thinking of funny things that you could spend your health savings account money on.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's not health savings account money. I mean, it's literally a fucking gift card. It's not like an HSA or something like that, But.
Right, I didn't mean to use that term, but it's money you got for being healthy.
Yeah,
so, just going and buying secondhand bacon grease to bathe in or something.
I mean, maybe I'll just buy 4 cigars and then just eat at the best burger place in town, Fat Guys, all day.
Now, cigars go onto the burger, like how some people put their fries. They'll take the burger, put the fries in there.
You open up your cigar and then you just kind of sprinkle it on there, like
yeah, like pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Okay,
these burgers are so addictive.
Well, let's
the best in town.
I'm sure this is not the last time we will talk about Injustice 2. So,
there's no way in hell. But
they are the best burgers in town, though.
They're really fucking good. But let's wrap this up. So, Visit the website at thecarouselpodcast.com. Rate and review us and subscribe to us on iTunes. Send us emails at carouselpodcast@gmail.com. I'm really bad about checking this, except right before the cast every other week. So if you send us something, I probably will only read it before then. We've gotten a lot of Kickstarter greenlight type stuff over the last half year, and I feel bad about missing some of it. But
well, for the record, if anyone wants to continue to send that stuff to us, we do personally vet that. Like someone is playing those games or trying those out, and so far we haven't necessarily found one that's really kind of fit the podcast or how we sort of see our audience at this point. But if you have sent us something and we haven't talked about it, please don't take it personal. It was just a matter of it, being a good fit. And when we find one that is, we will, and we'll be totally transparent to everyone that's why we're talking about it.
Yeah, yeah. Also, buy my music at MusiM.bandcamp.com, and check out my other podcast, Picking Up the Pixels. Randy, where can we find you?
I'm on the tweeters at OSU Cobra.
Cool.
Yep, and Gifts of Men on PS4.
And thank you both for joining us. And
thanks, sir.
We'll see everyone next turn.
Okay, great.
Get some Poison Ivy Head.
Poison Ivy Head.
I mean, you gotta wash that.
Well, no, you gotta
lotion.
Instead of rubber lips like Robin did in Batman and Robin, you just gotta dunk your dick in molten latex. It works great.
It's called a condom.
No. You can have zero. It has to be 100% on there. Well, you know what? Forget the latex. Make a candle wax. Just do that. Just stick your dick in a candle.
There are people that do that.
Okay.
Guarantee it.
So titles.
It's like ear candling, except way worse.
Let's see. I have From Dream Theater to OJ. I like that one.
Keep going, dude. Read them off.
Yeah, From Dream Theater to OJ. That's clapping with an exclamation point.
I know that was part of the Citizen Kane thing.
Because I was doing it, and John went, "That's clapping."
Yeah.
God.
John's real observant. I don't know if you've noticed.
Milking Fred Durst, and John and I both did Superman dick stuff.
Well, yeah, John did Superman dick stiff because he can't
did.
type.
I was going to bring that up. That's a little funnier, but
90 seconds of Tom Cruise grunting is funny on a conceptual level because I could just put oof as the show title.
And to be clear, no one ever actually said that, but that was my takeaway from that conversation.
I'm okay with just little leaps of not intent. That's not the word I'm looking for. But if you intuit it one step further to this is a funny scenario, I'm okay with it if we didn't say the exact words.
Okay.
You've seen Army of Darkness, right? Nothing goes wrong if you just don't say the words exactly.
Mm-hmm.
This is a two horse race, guys. It's milking Fred Durst and Superman dick stuff.
Superman dick stuff.
Okay.
Superman dick stuff.
I think last time I was on the podcast, we had dick in the title.
Well, I mean,
we have this handy Slack app. I can actually tell you. It's probably pretty. Oh, we got Dick on Dick Crime. Yeah, for
Yep,
the
that was
Joker
it.
and Robin. Yep.
mm-hmm.
That might not have been the last time, but
Okay, cool. Well, thank you,
We love our dick stuff.
everyone, for joining us live, and we're out.
alrighty.
Later, guys. See you in 2 weeks.